What up, what up, what up, internet? Who you are, where you be, where you at, what you see. This is the Pop Cult Crew. Yeah, that's right. We in the building. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy salutations, whatever, We in 2025 and we coming in head first and we ain't stopping. This is the year of the crew. Now, I'm one of your hosts, Mark M.F. Jones, and I'm joined by...
This is Niels R.Y. Welcome to the Pop Cult Crew.
Woo! Welcome to the crew, baby.
And this is Shannon, aka in with the new, out with the old. Or maybe I should say out with the old, in with the new, so then it rhymes with Pop Cult Crew.
Oh,
that works.
I see what you
Spits
did
off
there.
fire. And happy 2025 to us, because we have a special guest kicking us off for the new year. And funny enough, the person who I'm bringing on, birthday is New Year's, so it works out perfectly.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome back to the Pop Cult. Justo, how you doing, brother?
Doing good. I'm just happy to be here with everybody.
Happy New Year's, Justo. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year.
I'm ready. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. And if you're like, hey, wait a minute, what kind of malarkey is this? I tune into Pop Cult Parent. Who are these crew hooligans that are on my internet waves, my precious audio sensors? It can't be the old Pop Cult Parent crew, is it? No, it's the Pop Cult Crew. We changed it up. Nels, why don't you tell our fans, our audience, the whole internet why we have this new revamp, rebrand, and we coming live 2025?
Yeah, so we just wanted to go with the new look. We wanted to be more open to what we are as a podcast. And so I'll say this. While it is a new look and we are reintroducing ourselves as the Pop Cult Crew, it's a new look, but it's the same cult. So all the things that you came to learn and love about Pop Cult is still here. We will still do monthly episodes. We'll still have our One Piece check-ins. And we'll also continue to have guests come in and talk about whatever the topics are that we're talking about. But we do have some additional thoughts and things in store for you all in the future. We have some plans to do some reviews for more shows similar to like what we did for X-Men 97. So I don't want to give up any of the surprises that we have in store for you all, but just stay tuned with the new rebranding, the new websites, logos, and all that. There's just gonna be more new exciting things on the way. So
bigger,
get excited. Get excited.
We can make them better, faster, stronger podcasts. But we are
brothers. If y'all want to mention anything about the new rebrand, the floor is yours.
It feels right. Yeah. The transition feels right. It feels good, man. No. I'm excited. I like change. I don't fear change. It's been fun doing Pop Cult Parent, with you guys. Man, I can't believe it's gone now. It's like we should have a little internet funeral. But no, it was good. But no, Nels, everything you said, it felt right to change it up, to not change our dynamic, but make ourselves more open to different audiences. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Yeah, and yeah, same. It is a little more inclusive, like with the title and everything, and like you all were saying, it just makes it a little more, I think, obvious as to the openness and the things that we'll be talking about without us feeling like we have to sort of focus on a certain area to fit in a box. So yeah, we're going to be open. We're going to be out there. Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be here and start seeing y'all the first episode, and hopefully I can join on some more and see what's up.
I showed up to the wrong party.
Yeah, no, I'm ready.
The wrong damn house.
Like the nervous kid at the party now. Okay. Yeah, do I
no
feel
pressure.
Good though, to be in this cult seat with you guys, and you drop the parent word, so I feel more. I don't have one of those, so
you do have a
you do have parents. But
I mean,
you're not
you got parents. I mean, I ain't got
there
no kids.
And you have a fur baby. You a pops.
I got a fur baby. I forgot.
Yes.
Who still grew up as an orphan on a farm and as a young boy,
just
he still kept to himself on the farm.
Yeah, I just vanished. I just sprung. But
Yeah,
I'm
man.
excited about talking about these movies.
Yeah. Speaking of that, it is a new year. We made it, fellas. Like, man, 2024. I don't know about y'all. I feel like Denzel at the end of Training Day. Like at the end of 2024, just like, okay, all right.
Mhm.
Jake, my money, Jake.
Yeah.
Just yelling into the stratosphere.
Can-
My money,
can-
Jake. That's how I called in the new year.
yeah. So so I just want to say this because I know we're going to talk about the greatness of 2024, but let's talk about how we limped to the finish line for a second. So I think 2024 was like fine. I'm gonna just say it. I think 2024 ended very anti-black, and I say that because we had Mike Tyson lost to Jake Paul, Kamala
Yes.
Harris lost the election.
Yes.
In terms of people who passed away, Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed passed away.
Yeah.
Tony Todd, Candyman, James Earl Jones, Frankie
Candyman
Beverly.
passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Todd,
Candyman.
Quincy Jones, Tito Jackson, John Amos, Dikembe Mutombo, Rich Homie Quan, Greg Gumbel, Nikki Giovanni, and we even lost Jimmy Carter. He was a good white man.
He was a
Jimmy
good
Carter
white man, yo.
He was a good white man.
He
Yo.
rocks with Jimmy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it took Jimmy Carter like right out at the end. It was like, oh, but there's more. It's like, but yeah, so
Man.
2024 ended. I mean, just in terms of as we think about our celebrities, maybe people we grew up watching, and some of those things.
Greg Gumbel passed away.
Yeah, Greg Gumbel. Yeah,
Mm.
Bryant Gumbel outlived his little brother.
yeah, yeah.
I am
Yeah.
flabbergasted with it. Damn, 2024 whooped our ass
2024,
as a
I
people.
tell you,
As
I
a
tell you,
people.
Jake,
Yeah.
Collectively.
I felt like
Sheesh.
And that's just some
destroyed
like Nikki Giovanni as well. Like, yeah, it hit us hard.
Sure did, man.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. Yeah, any music or whatever I used to listen to when I was younger, I think 2024 almost destroyed my childhood a little. Just saying, just like I'm like, I don't know if I could play any memories. I'm just it was a weird 2024.
Yeah.
you know,
I don't,
was a weird year.
I don't want to be a doubter, but I
we
was
did
just
a
like,
rebrand.
oh, man.
America did a default. They're like,
Right.
back to basics. The classics. Let's get back to the classics.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking on TV. I'm like, Snoop Dogg's got an album, and he's still rocking. He's like the one on top. There ain't nothing. I'm just gonna say, hope not. Knocking on wood. Hope nothing comes out.
Hey, no. You ain't gonna talk like that. Not for Uncle Snoop. No. We gonna move on.
I'm
We gonna move on. Mark, what we doing today, Mark?
Hey, so in honor of the new year, we're gonna look at what good came of 2024. So it's been a while since we've done one of these, but we are going to go over our pop culture top 10 list of 2024. Usually this tends to be a lot of movies, but it doesn't have to be. It could be anything pop cult related. I know we've had books. I think Shannon, you might have had video games once or twice on your list before.
Yeah.
So just anything that really stood out to us in the past year, we're gonna go through our list. And Nels, you got like how we're gonna like break this down and do that.
Yeah, so how we do lists at the Pop Cult is we'll each go through our list from 10 to 1. We'll try not to interrupt each other. And we have, you know what, as a podcast, we have gotten better at not interrupting each other. There's just been moments when someone said something outlandish and we're just doing what the audience wants to do. Right?
There's been moments when someone said something fairly reasonable and the other two co-hosts just descended mad
because it wasn't reasonable. Anyways, so we try not to interrupt each other. We'll go from 10 to 1. We'll do our honorable mentions, and then we'll try to talk about the ones that showed up on other people's list. And yeah, we'll go from there. It's going to be a funky good time. So, Justo, do you want to kick us off and get started as our guest?
Oh, okay.
No pressure.
Sure. All right. So we just name what's on the list.
So yeah, you go from 10 to 1, and then honorable mentions, and then we'll talk a little
from
bit.
your heart, Justo. Some hosts on certain podcasts might try to berate you and make you feel bad about your choices, but you speak your truth here on the Pop Cult Crew. I got your back, baby.
All right. Well, I didn't realize number one needed to be number one. There's no real. I got 10 down here, And then I'll say the number one for sure at the end, I guess. I'll
Okay.
try to make it. Okay. You know, okay. Well, okay. One is on top. I have one is Kill. Number two, Book of Clarence. These are all movies. I know I can add different things, so I'm just gonna say up
It's
front, these
all
are
good,
all
brother.
movies.
It's all
Um,
good.
I don't know if you wanted the directors' names or whatever. Like,
No,
okay.
you could just
Number
say the
three,
name.
Love Lies. All right, Love Lies Bleeding, Babes, Strange Darling, My Old Ass, The Wild Robot, The Substance, Rebel Ridge, and In a Violent Nature. And now you said I'll pick one of the best out of all that. So I would say I would have to go with The Substance. But
Really?
That's your number
yeah,
one.
I mean, that's my number one. This list was just like, all of these got 5 stars in my head. Like, I will go no notes for any of these movies. But yeah, let me know. You want me to talk about any of these real quick or?
Not yet. Not
No,
yet.
okay. I'll
Although
tell you what.
you
But
did remind me about Rebel Ridge, and I feel some type of way because
and
I forgot about Rebel Ridge.
Rebel Ridge, In a Violent, and then I've had some honorable mentions.
Yes, your honorable
I didn't
mentions.
write them down because there's another 10 I had. Oh, what did I like? Yeah, no, I ain't got no honorable
Well, look,
mentions.
look,
I
look.
ain't
No
gonna
Why don't
try to
you
mentions.
put them
think
out of my
about
butt.
them,
Let
and
me think
if you,
about them.
yeah,
Mention
you can
later.
come back.
Cool.
Mhm.
Who wants to go? I'll go next. How about that? And then
Yeah,
and then Shannon and Mark, you can bring us home, and
All
hopefully
right.
it's not ridiculous. Number 10, I'll start with my book, shameless plug, From Vision to Reality, the book that I had come out in 2024 in November, all about helping people start nonprofits. Hey, there you go. There, look at it. So that's my number 10. Number 9, I have 6888. It's a Netflix movie that came out with Kerry Washington about the black women military group who were doing mail in World War II. 8 is Deadpool and Wolverine. 7 is Sonic 3. 6 is Dune 2. 5 is The Wild Robot. 4 is Not Like Us, Kendrick, the song and the concert, and literally everything about Not Like Us, the movement. Number 3, I have Supercell, the Netflix show. Number 2, I have Transformers 1. And then, of course, my number 1 is X-Men 97. That is, yeah. So, honorable mentions, I have another book. These books came out in 2023, but I started reading them in 2024. It's called The Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. It's books written by Rebecca Yarrow. And the best way I can describe this book, and actually, shout out to your sister, Husto. Alice explained this. She said it is a combination of Top Gun, of Harry Potter, and of Hunger Games, or Hunger Games. What's the Asian version of Hunger Games? What's it called?
Oh,
Ooh,
Battle
Battle
Royal.
Royale?
Battle Royale. So Battle Royale,
Or
Harry Potter, and Top Gun with dragons. That
Where do I
is
find this book?
This is
that
a
is the
book?
book.
See, I'm not see.
It is Top Gun with dragons. It's
So
an amazing book.
let me just
Top
ask you,
Gun with
Nels.
dragons.
Let me
Top
ask
Gun
you,
with dragons. Yes.
how did you find? I assume there must only be one of these because how did you have find time to do anything else? Top Gun with Dragons. That's the year. That's 2024. That's what you
It,
do from January to December in 2024 is read a series
I
about Top Gun with Dragons.
I saw it on a bunch of lists of books that I like reading. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. Whatever, young adult book. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. And then after the first chapter, I text like 5 people and was like, is this as good as I think it is? And they all were like, yes, this is legit. So Top Gun with Dragons, it's Fourth Wing, Iron Flame. The third book's coming out later on in January of 2025. Anyways, I like it.
Woo.
Other two
So I
things
gotta
on my
jump on this
honorable
bandwagon.
mentions. Yeah, it's legit. There's some wild, it's young adult, but there's some real adult scenes there. Like, I'm kind of like, oh. And then I looked at the author, and the author, she's kind of like the white Zane, like so she got some very provocative chapters in a sci-fi book. Anyways, neither here nor there. Other two honorable mentions is The Penguin. The reason it's not on the list is I've only seen a few episodes. I didn't finish it yet, but I'm very much enjoying it. I am enjoying the ride. And then last but not least, not the movie, literally just Denzel in Gladiator 2. Everything that Denzel did in Gladiator 2
yes.
it is worth an honorable mention.
They could have
So,
saved themselves $100 million and just released let's say Denzel's in the movie for a total of 40 minutes, all the screen time, maybe 30. Just show us that, and we all could have went home, saved ourselves 2.5 hours.
Release the Denzel cut.
Like, I know he was having fun. I was having just as much fun watching him have fun. It was pleasant. It was a pleasant experience. I still don't know how I feel about the movie itself.
Oh, it's
but
bad.
Denzel,
it's bad. It's a bad movie.
Okay, it's a bad movie.
It's a bad movie.
It's a bad movie. But Denzel,
but Denzel is great in it.
Phenomenal.
Yo, we all saw it together, and like the crowd is like when Denzel come on, like, oh, and then when he would leave, they're like, oh.
Facts. Anyways, y'all, that's my list. Any reactions?
It is real.
We good?
Can you go over your honorable mentions one more time, Nels?
The Fourth Wing books, The Penguin, and Denzel and Gladiator 2.
Okay, yeah. I have not got to see any of The Penguin, but I hear it's Sopranos in Gotham City.
Yes.
So, Nels, have you seen The Sopranos? And what do you think?
I've seen a few episodes. I've never watched The Sopranos from beginning to end. I've just jumped in here and there, and that is an very accurate description.
Okay.
Colin Farrell kills it. He is unrecognizable. I know, like, you've seen the movie, so you're like, of course, but like, this is a gangster show, and it just so happens to be in the world of Gotham, which makes it better. It just makes it better. Nice. So yeah. I'm a fan. Now, again, I've only seen a few episodes, so I don't know if the actual whole show is good, but
I finished it.
It's pretty dope.
It's worth finishing.
It's worth finishing.
Yeah. It took me a while because I watched the first couple, and then I was like, God, it's so hard watching. There's no Batman. This is the thing with me. Does Batman need to be in a story or not?
Yeah, man, I'm with you, Justo. That's usually my problem. It's like I don't care what Gotham City's up to when Batman's not around. Like I just don't like these Sony movies. I don't want to see
I was just about to say
Morbius is doing unless Spider-Man's there.
Yeah, but it's really good. Once I got past, I was just like, you know what? Just let that go. We are living in Gotham, and we're gonna learn about these people. And then when they bring in the girl, it turns into the Sopranos.
She's a Batman villain.
It's like, you remember, you gotta take a breath. You gotta be like, all right, you gotta really accept that Batman is not gonna be there. For a second.
So the best way I'll say this, Mark, is you can't look at this like you're looking at a Batman show, but at the same time, Penguin is like his antithesis, like the person, his like antagonist is legit a Batman villain. Like she operates like a Batman villain. And so you're kind of reminded like, oh yeah, Gotham is jacked up. There's just random supervillains just operating and living life.
Again,
it's a terrible place to live. It's a horrible place.
It's like.
No, go ahead, Huso.
I was gonna say I was just agreeing with Nels. It's like it reminds you, Gotham's horrible and it needs Batman.
Yes. No, yes. And one of the clips were like, I got flamed by the internet when I said, I was like, I don't know why anyone would live in a city where the Joker hangs out. And you don't understand economic turmoil and people's struggle. And I'm like, yo, you literally are living in a city where you could be on the bus and be gassed to death laughing, and like that's not just like, oh, we're poor, we can't leave Detroit. It's you could be taking your kid to school and be frozen to death by a ray gun. Like, get out.
There is a guy who walks around as a scarecrow trying to scare people to death with chemicals.
Yo,
that is just what he does.
There should be 5 people in Gotham. It should be like Alfred, Batman, and Commissioner Gordon, and then like the rest of the villains. Gotham should look like the beginning of 28 Days Later.
It does sometimes. That's the problem.
I'm just
Anyways,
imagining that,
that's my
like,
list.
a random Tuesday at 2 p.m. It's like, oh yeah, let me go get some milk, and then like you get frozen or hit with
Yeah,
tear
yeah.
gas. It's like a Tuesday in March, just nothing
yeah.
special about it.
Hun-
It's like, why
oh,
did this happen?
honey, I forgot to get the milk. Don't worry, baby, I got it. And all of a sudden, a tree grabs you and chokes you to death and poison. I was like, using paper on your mail.
You're trying to get your car in the parking lot, and as you're pulling out, you see that there are bombs all around and a giant green question mark with some BS riddle. And you're like, yo, I just want to go home. It's been a long day from work. It's ridiculous. Gotham is terrible. It's a terrible place.
You're plunging your toilet. You're like, oh, these kids, man. And a giant crocodile man comes out of you. Holding a satchel of money. Yeah. Like, no, we're leaving. We're out. We're gone.
You're picking up your date, and next thing you know, your date transforms into a giant thing of clay. And it's like, give me your car. It's like, what? Just want to live life.
That's why I don't use Tinder. That's why I don't use Tinder.
Or hey, Christopher Nolan, you're at the game, you're at the playoffs, enjoying you watch your team. Oh, hooray, Gotham City! There's a bomb and you can't leave. It's like, dog, come on.
Hey, this is a preseason game. This is a preseason game. Like, come on, man.
Gotham is a terrible place. Anyways, that's my list.
Oh man,
I would just hate to walk to the ATM over there, just like you're just trying to do something basic in that city.
And then even the muggers.
I'm going down to 7-Eleven. Well, good luck. See if you can make it back.
Okay, we can keep going.
So my top 10 of 2024. I think I just told you my low 10 or low 20 of the anti 2024. But so my top 10, I start off similar to what Niels did. So there's a book 61 by Chris Paul that was actually written in 2023. I didn't read it and see it until 2024. Amazing book. I'll talk more about it later. But number 10,
Wake Forest.
Yes. Also Chris Paul, Wake Forest alum. But so number 10 was 61 by Chris Paul. Number 9, Doechie's Tiny Desk. Number 8, La Russell's Tiny Desk. Number 7, Rebel Ridge. Number 6, Abbott Elementary. Basically like the season and a half that we got in this past year. Number 5, Transformers 1. Number 4, GNX by Kendrick Lamar. Number 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 2, The Book of Clarence. Number 1, no surprise, X-Men 97.
Nice.
Oh, and I'll hit my honorable mentions right quick. Honorable mentions: Superman and Lois, the show. I've been watching that.
You been getting on it, Shannon?
Yeah. I've been like binging it the last couple weeks, so it's good.
Yeah,
it is.
Superman and Lois.
Nice.
The movie Hitman, it had Glenn Powell in it. It was surprisingly really good. A Hitman. Shrinking it's a show on Apple TV Plus, really good. And
is that the one with Harrison Ford?
Yes. And he's actually trying. He's actually like
trying to act like he's actually acting in that show. Okay. Like he's trying.
It was a great job. And then honorable mention, I just started playing this. Yeah, I just started playing this like recently in the last couple of days. But Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It is video game. We'll talk more about it, but it is good. And so literally I'm not far into it, but I'm like, this makes the list. Honorable mention is that good.
Shout out to you, Shannon Smith, being able to play video games in 2024. That is a beautiful thing. That deserves some time. Like, shout out to you for figuring out a way to play some video games.
I do want to say this. What was funny, they do the wrap up at the end of the year. Like, this is how many hours you played and the games you played. I kid you not, 2024 for me, I think I had 11 hours. 11 hours the entire year.
Hey, that's still awesome.
Hey, And then they like break it down. It's like, well, 30% of that is actual game time.
Yeah.
The other, it's like the other percentage is like loading and
Yeah.
reading dialogue.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, I laughed at it. I was like, dang, 11
Yo,
hours. Oh,
Shannon,
times
I'm sorry.
change.
I see you, Shannon. I see you play video games like that Simpsons clip where Milhouse is playing that game. He's like, "Whoa, this is awesome! I just put my name in Thrill House."
and that's pretty much
That's it
it.
for
Like,
Shannon's
all
like,
right.
well,
And you don't
Yeah.
touch it for another month.
Yeah. Like, well, that was good.
Oh,
See you
I've
man.
accomplished a
see you
lot
in
today.
July. See you in July.
I'm laughing,
man.
but I'm crying really. Like it's so sad. That sucks.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
All right, Mark.
All right,
Bring us
fellas.
home.
So my list, it goes. Let me just mind you, I did not see a lot this year. I will just keep it at that. Number 10, A Quiet Place Day One. Number 9, My Adventures with Superman, the animated show on Adult Swim. Number 8, Smile 2. I haven't even seen Smile 1, but Smile 2 is where it's at. Number 7 is Shogun, the FX show.
You got into Shogun.
Yes.
I wanted to do that.
It is. We'll talk about it. Number 6 is Ted, the Ted series that was on Peacock, the Seth MacFarlane movies where he's the teddy bear and all that.
Oh, Ted. Yeah.
Very
That
funny.
shit was actually funny.
Super funny. Very funny show. What is that? That was my number 6. Number 5, you know me, I got a tie. Wild Robot and Robot Dreams. Robot Dreams was this like, I don't know if you can call it a silent movie, but it's almost like a silent movie. It's an animated movie about a dog who is lonely, so he builds a robot to be his friend. Phenomenal. It is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
A dog builds a robot?
Yeah.
The premise alone. I'm sold on the premise alone. I want to see a dog build a robot. I want to see that.
It's a beautiful movie, man. I'll talk a little bit about it. It is a beautiful movie. My number 4, the anime Dan the Dan on Netflix. Just ate it up, loved it. Can't get enough of it. Number 3 is the whole Kendrick and Drake beef. Just the whole thing. All of it. Not like just here you go. Number 2, X-Men 97. And my number 1 was Dune 2.
Okay.
Dune 2 is my number 1.
Shannon, respectable list. Respectable list.
Respectful. There's a mix.
I'm happy that X-Men 97 was on the list.
Oh, come on.
You know how Mark is, the things that we put at the top, all of a sudden it's like, it didn't make it. I don't know what to tell you. It didn't make it.
One thing didn't make the list. And it made the whatever.
Yeah. Oh, what was your number 10?
A Quiet Place.
Okay.
Day 1.
Okay, Quiet Place. Okay, cool.
So,
but yeah, no, good list. Good list.
my honorable mentions, I'm just going to run through them. I'm going to call this my honorable mention / honorable miss, because these are things that like I saw a little bit of but didn't get to finish because I have no time. Invincible Fight Girl, Batman the Great Crusader, From, the show From, The Bear, love The Bear, The Boys. I didn't see this, but I really wanted to see this. The Piece by Piece, the Pharrell documentary done by Legos. Like, that's an honorable miss. I really wish I could have saw that. And It's What's Inside, Twisters, and Rebel Ridge are my honorable mentions.
You see Rebel Ridge?
No, I saw Rebel Ridge. I saw that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, and Alien Romulus. And Transformers
Shout out
1. Transformers 1.
Awesome. Y'all, we have a lot of stuff in common. That is dope.
Yeah.
So there is some things to note is we actually have episodes on a lot of these things already. So I think we can power through the ones that we've already done some episodes on and talk about some of the other ones that are on the list. So I'll just quickly name, we've done episodes on Transformers 1. We've done an episode on Deadpool and Wolverine. We've talked a little bit about Not Like Us and Kendrick in general. And we talked about literally every episode of X-Men 97. So I'm thinking maybe we start with real quick. we can just like spend some time real quick on like Deadpool and Wolverine. So the only thing I'll like add to it is I haven't watched it again. Like I liked it when I saw it. I still thought it was too much, and I haven't looked at it again. But what I have done is looked at specific clips of things that I liked. So like
Yeah.
I feel like the movie was just jam packed of moments that I liked
Mm-hmm.
versus like I don't know how much I liked it as a movie, but
Yeah.
I definitely liked all the like a lot of the moments in it, especially Gambit. Like that definitely was like which was a nice touch. But I haven't watched it again, and I think that kind of because I haven't watched it again, it tells me that I probably didn't like it too much as a movie, but I did like a lot of moments I was in there.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll quickly say about
I'm
it.
I'm with you now. So I feel the same way. I think I even said on the podcast, it just felt like a lot. And I think I said that I feel like Deadpool 1 and 2 are better movies on the whole. But I'm with you. Like there's moments that I love. Like that moment where Wolverine, they're in the van and he just berates Deadpool and just tells him everything that's terrible about him right before they fight. Just Hugh Jackman is just like, hey, he's like, this is a stupid Marvel movie, but I'm going to present myself like I'm going for an Oscar. Like it's just really, really
Yeah.
well done. The jokes are funny. Ryan Reynolds, he's that character. Hugh Jackman is that character. I mean, it's the best we could have hoped for, and I think Marvel needed just like some type of like boost, for fans and just in general. But yeah, like it didn't make my list just because. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I never went back.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a sucker for, I guess you would say, for cameos and pull them in. Like, I mean, that's why, like, what Spider-Man: No Way Home. I was like, they're there. They brought them on there. Obviously,
Get the
Deadpool
band
and
back
Wolverine.
together.
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, of course, bringing in Elektra, Blade, Gambit, and just about anything that does that. I'm like, I love that. So I mean, it was a great movie. I similar. I haven't done it either. Like I saw when it popped up on Disney Plus the first day. I was like, oh, it's there. Still haven't watched it. It's just yeah, and I don't know if it's how I feel about it or if it's just life. Period. As you can see, I played 11 hours of video games in a whole year, so life doesn't let me just do stuff. So, but the other thing about it too, though, just as we mentioned, is as we say, I mean, it was different, like because it was rated R, and I think hopefully another thing that it will do is hopefully usher in some like, okay, we can do some rated R movies and we're gonna still make good money because everything doesn't have to be. Oh, there would be blood here, but use your imagination because it's PG-13. Or we got to trade off. Are we going to blood or we going to use profanity? Like we got to trade off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know I had to rush to go see it in the theater before the entire internet was ruining everything for me.
Mhm.
Like as soon as I heard that like Blade was gonna be in there, I was just like, oh great. Now
So
I
what you
gotta go
got?
see this
You got
movie.
spoiled that Blade was in the movie?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
That
Yeah.
Like you
sucks.
couldn't
That
avoid
sucks.
the internet. And then I think I tried to watch it online and it was bad quality. And then I went to the theater and all I really remember is just like yeah, it was a lot at once and not really like I don't know about the whole timeline. The story was like, wait, what? But hey, Marvel needed to win. It was rated R and it was their first like let's just kick it down the barrel with a bunch of curse words and blood we can finally show and as long as we put Wolverine in a yellow suit with the whole thing and let him wear that mask we should make our money back
Yeah.
and it
It
did and
did.
a lot,
It did.
I mean
It
I
it
had to
And
go
then some.
back to like a little boy in me, kid in me, to even like enjoy most of the jokes. To be like, oh yeah, I would have enjoyed this a lot more if I was I don't know, like a little kid or like if I was the
yeah.
the younger version of me.
It made the
But I
money.
did almost go nuts when he finally pulled that mask on.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait, almost a whole. Okay, this is happening for
20
real. We've been
years.
waiting 20 years for this
Long
stuff.
time.
Finally,
Hmm.
okay, this was worth the ticket. It was worth everything.
24
All
years.
I remember is just like that's when it kicked in. Like the little kid was like, yeah, oh yeah, it's X-Men '97, and now
I
Wolverine
I
is
think if there's a
full yellow and blue. That's
If
all I
there's a
needed.
lesson, if there's a lesson in that, and I think we can thank the Sonic franchise. If Hollywood studios have learned anything in 2024, it's fans don't need realistic. They
Mhm.
just want what they love to look good on screen. Now,
That's
whatever
it.
that means, you got to change textures, tweak things, but they don't need it to be realistic. They just
No,
want to see the thing on the, we want to see Sonic with his gloves. We don't want to see his human teeth. We,
no.
you know what I'm saying? We don't need the X-Men in black leather, and I get it. We talked about this, and when we talked about the first X-Men movie, you're presenting comic book that it's hard now because comic book movies are just so prevalent, right? But it was like we're taking a risk and we're like using these comic book characters, these funny book geek books to make a movie, so we have to make them look cool and edgy. And The Matrix was hot, so everyone's wearing leather. So,
No.
but yeah, like we just want to see the thing we like on screen. That's it.
It's amazing how many times they don't get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. It's like just lean into it, lean into the goofy, the whatever it is, because again, I think on the episode at one point I was saying how much I loved Gambit, Gambit being there and Gambit being just comic book accurate. In real life, yes, that doesn't make sense. You have this suit. Why do you have a trench coat? You're going to trip over it. It's going to be, yes, it doesn't make sense, but lean into it, and we were so excited. We got Gambit, comic book accurate Gambit. Gambit, you don't need a black tactical outfit. Like, just do it, and we loved it.
Yeah. So on theme of Deadpool and Wolverine, we have X-Men 97. This was my number one. Shannon, this was your number one as well.
Yeah,
And Mark, this was your number two. And
Yeah.
Yeah, these are
and
my honorable mentions.
and who still is on your honorable mentions?
Everything y'all said is probably up. I'm just gonna add it to the honorable mentions because I was the whole time I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that.
So
But yeah,
because we literally every week were saying this is so good, we don't I don't necessarily have to tell you all it was good. What I will say is why it was my number one. I it, it's been a while since I have been so excited for a week, like to wait a week to have a show good enough that like I can talk to people about how good that show was for a week and to get excited again to see what that next episode is going to be and for every week to be just as hype about the episode like is I don't know when the last time it's been like this, but we were told that episode 5 was going to be wild by the creator and we were all looking forward to it. When's the last time you remember going on the internet to hear somebody talk about, oh, can't wait for this episode, Game of Thrones? That's the last time I
Yeah.
remember something like that
It
happening.
it brought back, the greatest thing about like the 90s and early 2000s that we don't get anymore. Well, we don't get a lot is those water cooler TVs where everyone
Mhm.
watches and you go to work and run the wall. Oh, did you see this? Did you see that? And that's was X-Men 97. The internet was collectively around the digital water cooler and just like, oh my God. And it was like it wasn't a lot of bitching. Usually, oh, they got this wrong, and blah blah blah. My childhood, and blah blah blah. And I'm a fan, and I'm a gatekeeper, and blah, blah, blah. Shut up. It was just people like this. This thing is awesome. We're all enjoying it. We're all like in the same digital living room, just like having fun, enjoying this thing, and having a blast. And it's like we rarely get that anymore.
Yeah. 'Cause not only did they do that, but they corrected some things like where we were. Because let's be real,
Yeah.
we know we're talking
Yeah.
about Cyclops
Yeah,
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yep.
we were like, man, like the nostalgia. Oh, this is good. So like you took my nostalgia, my childhood, you did some stuff in current day, and then you put a little cherry on top, and it's like, remember what you remembered? Let's make that even better now. I'm like,
hmm
they did that, so cannot argue.
Yep.
I just remember always turning it back on to try to trick like my lady and her sister to try to watch it. And then I think it was episode 5, where you just pop it in the background and hope people will just like start paying attention. And when they started seeing Magneto and Rogue dancing and Flo, they're like, "What are we watching? What is going on here?" And I was like, "Just be quiet. Just let it sink in. Just let it happen." They didn't know what was going on. They didn't watch the old X-Men. But I was just like, "Don't ruin this for me. This is good stuff. All of you need to shut up." And they were just looking at me like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "This is X-Men. This is the best thing."
Hey, I just got this mental image of you just like turning on X-Men at inappropriate moments. It's like, oh my God, someone just tried to kill Trump. And who's just like, oh, I'll turn on the TV. X-Men 97.
That's exactly what
like, look what's on.
Oh, we might as well watch.
Might as well.
Because they had seen me, they're like, "This grown man is waking up." Like, I made it like a Saturday thing too. I'll just wait till Saturday, jump on Disney. Only reason I jump on Disney Plus, pop this on.
Oh no, Brian Gumbel's brother died. Oh my God, look.
Yo, I must have replayed that intro
well
like 20 times.
It's on
in front of strangers.
Chrissy Jones is dead. Oh man, I just
I'd be like,
so I was trying to segue this into Transformers 1 and just failed tremendously. So my bad. We also did an episode on Transformers 1, and Transformers is just a great franchise. And I think this reminded me, if you put some quality like story and quality acting with this franchise, it's going to be a hit. I still have one complaint. Yeah, look, if Peter Cullen was in the movie, this might have been number one. If I want to give it a buck,
no bull.
If you put Peter in this movie the way he's supposed to be in this movie, it probably would have been. It might have been X-Men. It might have been X-Men 97. That being said, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great movie. It low key, Mark. I don't know how you feel about this. It kind of made me want to like go back on Transformers Prime. And
oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Maybe we need to revisit Transformers Prime on a future episode. But
everyone listening, if you have not watched Transformers Prime and you even think you might be a Transformers fan, watch Transformers Prime. It besides Transformers 1, it might be the greatest Transformers thing ever created.
Better than Beast Wars. I'll put it better than Beast Wars.
Yeah. And then with Transformers 1, Nels, we even spoke like what's so great about it is you can use it to be your entry point to any of the series or franchises. If you want, it could be the Bayverse intro. I think it's clearly a G1 prequel, but like it could also, if you squint your eyes, it could be a Prime
Absolutely.
prequel. Absolutely. So it was great. It's good to see.
It could be a Beast Wars intro.
It could.
I want to be honest.
It could. So it's good to see one of the best franchises ever like treated with respect. Definitely. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah. What I loved about it too was the expectations that I had going in. I don't know the last time I've had this for a movie where I went in, I didn't think it would be bad at all. I was like, this will probably be a fine movie, but I'm mainly going because I want to show it to my son and and everything. And then I'm sitting there like, this is great. This is way better. Like, I think this is one of the few times when they're like, your marketing did not live up to what it could have been. And that's because some movies, they overmarket. It's everywhere. And you're like, oh, this will be a good movie. And then it turns out it's horrible. This one, I feel like they didn't really market it well. And it turned out to be an amazing movie. Like,
the marketing department failed that movie. They really did.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good.
I mean, I think, I don't know. I do remember finding myself now on the other side. Like, I'm not rooting for Optimus Prime. I think I am.
You're Megatron.
I'm like more understanding of Megatron, and I'm just like, ain't nobody down with Megatron. That's what happened. That sucks for everybody. Well, that's what happened. Now that's why you get a Megatron.
That's
y'all should have been rolling.
You want a Megatron? That's how you get a Megatron.
He shot his best friend in the face and watched him fall down into the planet's core. I don't know, dog. I ain't rooting for him.
Look,
I ain't rooting for him.
Since we brought it up, we said in our review, his turn was just, it was just like, it was 0 to 100 real quick. It was like, Sentinel lied to you. He lied to me. Like, I'm going to kill him. It's like, dog, yo, hold on. We just became like Transformers. We're like, can we figure out how to work our bodies yet? And like, he has to die tonight.
He was like, I know I got a gun on my arm, and that's enough. That's enough for me.
But how did Fate give him the biggest gun? You know what I'm saying? Like, he immediately became a Transformer, and all of a sudden he has the biggest gun.
Dog, but think about it, fellas. Literally, their biology changed in like 5 seconds. They went from one thing to another thing. Can you imagine, like, we're in a room and someone's like, "Oh, the president's lied to you guys. You're supposed to have wings," and we get wings, and then Shannon's like, "Ooh, tonight we gotta do it tonight." Like, yo, what? Yo, shit, we have wings now. Let's figure this out.
Wings of death. It's like, whoa, bro.
That's what happened. That's what happened in Transformers 1. Accurate.
Like, yo, chill. Let's figure this all out.
So, great movie though.
It was pretty. It was.
Yeah. It was fun though.
It was great. It was good.
And
It was like my number 3 animation, because then I saw the other ones and I was like, oh well, then so because like Wild Robot was out, and then also what else? Like Piece by Piece was out. So
is that a good segue?
So Transformers 1 made my number 3 animation.
Before we get to Wild Robot, let's talk about Kendrick Not Like Us, because that's the last one we also did an episode on. Or Kendrick and Drake, Kendrick in some way, shape, or form. Dare I say, this is like the one glimmer shining star in the sky that tells you that hip hop still exists. And I'm here for it. And what I also am just becoming more and more aware, and I am absolutely fine with admitting that I listen to Drake. Like, Drake makes hits. All right.
Nels, that is a normal statement to make. Because of what Kendrick did, it's like, oh, Drake. But like before, Not Like Us, that was a normal statement. Don't feel weird about
it. It is, but here's the thing: people are just like washing their hands with Drake. I'm like, no, look, I don't care how bad Kendrick went in on Drake. Drake got hits, bro. Drake has. You have a Drake song you like. Yeah, I don't care who you are. There is a Drake song that you blast on a regular.
Dog,
so
that's the millennial in you. You have gone to clubs and made out to Drake hits. So that's the millennial.
Absolutely.
I watched Degrassi.
Degrassi. He was my favorite character. Jimmy Brooks. Wheelchair Jimmy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Come on now.
Wheelchair Jimmy.
I knew him actually, funny story. I knew him strictly as Wheelchair Jimmy. Huso, you hit me up and was like, Wheelchair Jimmy raps. And I was like, it must be terrible. And you're like, actually, it's amazing. Here's the song. And I think you sent me like one of the things on October's Very Own. And I was like, oh, it was the same thing that happened, Mark, when you put me on Childish Gambino. I was like, how are these things?
How are these things? But that's why millennials we can't completely. We're like we're like, oh, we're all gonna go to our parents' house for dinner. We're like, oh, okay, don't bring Drake, don't, like, you know. But it's like, but everyone else is like, wash their hands up. But we're like, oh, well, he was there in the beginning, so we'll just figure. We'll go after the party. We'll go see how he's doing. And
terrible, but yeah, true.
Nah, dude, that whole thing, I loved it. It was fun. It was the Tyson. It's what we wanted from the Tyson fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what we wanted from the Tyson fight. I mean, Doug, Drake came out swinging. Like, the push-ups, people were like, yo, Drake going in. Like the whole internet was like, what? Oh my word. And then Kendrick came, I'm like, oh man. And dog, it was so beautiful, because Family Matters might be Drake's greatest diss song ever.
It might be.
It was immediately swept under the rug by, what was it? Was it the
was it Meet the Grams? Or was it?
Yeah, I think it was Meet the Grams.
Yeah,
and then Not Like Us.
And then Not Like Us right after.
Because though, when I heard Matters, I was like, yo, dang, this might be Drake's best diss ever. And then it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Mhm.
Fellas, within like a couple of days, he took the Good Kid, Mad City van and made a video of it getting crushed. And I was like, yo, this is madness. But Drake just spirit bombed Drake and just decimated him.
And here's it. And Mark, you brought this up, and my fault, fellas. I will let y'all talk. But like, Mark, you brought this up. Meet the Grams is like, as a diss song, is better than Not Like Us.
Yeah,
Like,
Mhm.
Not Like Us is just a bop.
it's devastating.
Yeah.
It
If I was a
as well.
father, I would be devastated if Meet the Grams was about me and my
Yes.
kids ever heard it. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather them hear Not Like Us and it's certified better. Like, Meet the Grams is horrible, dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like
say
go. Oh,
Go ahead.
I'll say this
Oh,
quickly. I feel
go
like
ahead.
Not Like Us is like the best. Sorry, the best way I can explain it is, you know, when the Ghostbusters like slide the little trap in and all the ghosts get like sucked in. That's what I think about when I think about Not Like Us. It's like, oh, it's over. It's over. like
Across
those,
the streams.
yeah,
Kids
it's
across
like,
the streets.
damn. Hey, sheesh. Anyways, I'm sorry, Shannon. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just, I think my piece was just agreeing with Mark. I'm like, that Meet the Grams, that is just, that's hurtful. I'm like, if you're gonna diss me, say something like, oh, I don't know, your glasses are crooked, I don't like your hair.
Yeah. Just
So,
insult
like,
me, dog. Don't
yeah, insult me.
make my
Don't say
children hate me or like question me as a man. Like,
The entire world question.
yeah,
Seriously.
like, please insult me. And then I laughed too. Just, you mentioned the spirit bomb. I do imagine like Kendrick just being like Compton, give me your energy.
Dog.
Drop it.
we
Buster?
yo,
West Coast.
the thing about Not Like Us was, because we've seen it before. We've seen, like, I mean, Drake did it with Back to Back. Back to Back, what killed Meek, Back to Back was a club sensation that summer. People like that's what killed him. Not Like Us was everywhere. Airports, elevators, like, pop stations, NBA commercials, the
Kids'
election,
Choice Awards.
Kids Choice Award.
That's when I was like, it's over. When the Kids' Choice Awards, and guess who's coming? Oh my goodness.
And fellas, I said it and I stand by it. Next year, in the animated movie next year, some minions or some characters are going to be dancing and Not Like Us. I stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is I
So,
wasn't.
anything you want to add?
I mean, I was in California and I wasn't allowed to play Drake too loud. Like, I was living it up. So, I mean, I walk around with my dog in my headphones, and I was like, "Yep, Drake got a good diss here," and then, but I'll switch it to what's Not Like Us came out. It was like, let's just describe it like this: if you're riding the car, exactly. Oh, someone pulling up, Not Like Us, Not Like Us. You better have Not Like Us on, or you ain't from LA, or you was gonna get in a problem. And I was just like, "Yep, Not Like Us."
That's
Just
so
keep that
funny.
on repeat. I was crip wine all over the place. I was just like, whatever.
Me
Whatever
too.
to keep
He's like,
me
yeah.
safe. Yeah, I don't like Drake. I don't
As
like
he's
Drake.
crying on the inside because
Crying inside, knowing that this man just demolished one of my favorites. Like, I get it, but at least Drake is a happy-go-lucky kid. He came and changed it to be like, we can mix this. We can do this all. I'm from Canada. We can do it all together, guys.
Nope.
But if you're gonna come out and I just don't understand how you could be like, I don't know. It's just the things he said on those songs. It would hurt me too. It's like,
God,
it's not
I
even
love
true. Like, but I was like, why you had to do it to him like that? Like, it felt like the bully just
I gotta
destroying
know.
this man.
Did the LA stations, like, did anybody in LA play any Drake songs at all? Or was it just like, we're done with him?
They were done. They couldn't play the
Damn,
songs.
that's amazing.
It was a book burning of Drake.
It's just like suddenly everyone didn't like Drake can't be in LA no more. No, I'm just playing, but it's like it was
the
bad.
second biggest city in this country.
All I know
He's
is
just like,
hey,
no.
who's those chilling and he sees someone listening to Drake, and he's like, "Don't worry, buddy, I'm with you too." And like somehow the phone plays out loud as playing Drake, and everyone turns to the body snatchers like.
That's exactly what it was. And I agree. I thought his one diss track was good, or I was like, oh, he got him. But like then Kendrick comes the next day, it was like 3 songs overnight,
Oh
just
my
like
God.
dogpiling. I'm
Who's
like, can you
though?
even make up stuff on a song and it works? I guess it does. I guess it works. This is the year where everyone's being accused of let's just say they're being accused of the same thing. Everyone's one of them. So I'm just like, anyone I ever listened to has just been demolished this year. That's how I felt.
I love it. It's
Drake,
like
Jay-Z, Diddy, anything I used to listen to back in the day. I like it. That's why I kept saying the only thing I can listen to now is Snoop.
no, it's like the Diary of Anne Frank, but it's like Husto in someone's attic listening to Drake mixtape.
Or else you
Hold on, we're
Look
going
up.
home.
Are you harboring the Drake fan? No, sir, not in this house. Like, it's the beginning of Inglourious Bastards, but it's Husto listening to Drake.
I'll switch
Mark,
it.
stop it. No, hold on. We have to acknowledge what Mark just did. He compared Frank to listening to Drake in LA. In case you were wondering, yes, it's still the Pop Cult. Damn you, Mark. That is hilarious. Oh my God. Okay.
Husto's running away.
Like I couldn't tell people. You can't be like, oh, Jimmy shared what, Will shared what. No, nobody cares. Drake was dead in California.
Hey, last one. It's 28 weeks later when he's like running away and leaves his family. That's who's still listening to Drake.
I'm done with y'all. All right. Let's move on. I do kind of want to before we jump into the other animated shows, because I think it'll be quick. Would love to quickly talk about Rebel Ridge. Look, I had known of what's the brother's name? I don't remember, but the main actor,
Green Lantern. He gonna be Green Lantern.
I learned he's gonna be Green Lantern, and my sister was so happy.
Yes. And Mufasa's voice.
And it was Mufasa's voice.
Movie.
So and actually this should have made the list, but there was a Genius MLK X on like the History Channel, or it was on the Disney Plus app, and he plays Malcolm X, and the voice of Scar plays MLK. So, and they kill it. They both kill it. It's some of the best acting I've ever seen, to be completely honest. It should have made the list. And so when I was watching, I was like, yo, this dude's gonna be a star. And then the next thing I see him on, and I heard he was casted as Mufasa, but the next thing I see him on is Rebel Ridge. Y'all, I loved it. I loved Rebel. It was just like a late 80s, early 90s action movie. Like it was Rambo. You know what I'm saying? Like dude comes into the town, chaos ensues, comes out, shoot him up, saves the girl. End of the movie. In case you haven't watched it, I just described Rebel Ridge to you, and I loved it. I loved it. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
Shout out to Slash Film podcast. One of them said that Rebel Ridge is basically, it's like John Wick, but instead of killing people, he just disarms them. Yo,
just CQC. CQC the whole time.
And that's true. We see the difference because as a black man, it was like, look, even if I take down this whole force, I cannot have all these like assaulted a police officer on me. I can disarm.
Disarm.
I was like,
corrupted cops that are trying to kill me and steal money and drug people. Yeah. But even then, let me just take your gun away and lay you down gently.
And he still had to be polite. Because he always was like, yes, sir, man. Or like, I'm like, so polite.
Dog,
he even was about to take him out, but he was being polite about it.
He had them where he wanted it. He's like, no, a deal's a deal. Give them part of the money. I'm like, dog, just take your money and get out of there.
Because I think he went through all of that stuff, and I think for real, he may have had 2 kills, if any. Like if he took down all of them, and I'm just saying 2 kills because I just assumed. So he might have had 0 kills,
Yeah.
and still.
I hope we see another. It'll be see the problem with Rebel Ridge is to get another one with that actor. It's gonna turn into Die Hard. It's like, how do we get this guy to like do the same thing? But I kind of like now, yeah, amp it up. Like now, I don't know, send him to a war, or I don't know, just keep, like amp it up
No,
and keep it
no,
going.
no, Mark, no, not war. Send him to an amusement park. All right, chaos
Ooh.
ensues. All right, you know what I'm saying? Instead of a small town, send him to like a big city, New
Yeah,
York,
yeah,
Rebel
yeah,
Ridge, New
yeah,
York. Chaos ensues. That's you need to just. It's just changing the setting. It's got to be
yeah.
playful, you know. So yeah,
When you said it, I was like, so like Beverly Hills Cop 3? Is that they sent him to an amusement park?
They did do that.
yes,
Or Three Ninjas Knuckle
but
Up.
actually a good movie. So
Rebel
yes,
Ridge 2 is him in LA, and Justo's been wrongfully arrested for listening to Drake, and he
he's like,
gets him out.
think you sweet people up. Oh man! All right, so that's where we're. Anything y'all want to add about Rebel Ridge?
I mean, it's always fun to see Don Johnson be a bad guy. I don't
Yes.
remember when I see that actor do bad stuff because Miami Vice, or has he played a corrupt cop? Maybe, I don't
Watchmen.
know.
Watchmen.
Watch. Okay, I'm wondering when was the last time I seen him be a bad guy, and I just wanted to say, yeah, he did a good job. I'm like, Don Johnson's being a bad guy. Okay,
He needs to do that more often.
he needs to do that more
He's a very
often
good
now.
villain.
He
He's a
needs
very
to
good
stop.
villain.
Yeah, he did a good job there. And yeah, I just look forward. It's definitely one of those movies where you see that guy, you're like, he's going to be a star. I'm going to put stock on him. Maybe the next movie I'll remember his name, but he's going places.
Yep.
But yeah,
Aaron
yeah,
Pierce.
yeah.
I believe his name is Aaron Pierce.
Yeah. I
All
remember
right,
I did.
y'all.
I did. There's one of those like I called my dad. I was like, you got to watch Rebel Ridge. It's like Rambo.
So yeah, say we get to move on.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I'm surprised Wild Robot was on so many of our lists. I didn't know y'all watched it. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll talk about Wild Robot. Wild Robot was up there. Like, if it weren't for Kendrick, Wild Robot would have been like really close up there. And let me just like say this and I'll turn it to y'all. At a certain point, so my oldest son Ian is the reason I went to go watch Wild Robot. I did not want to watch it. I was not excited about it at all, but that he was like, "We got to go see this." So I'll fast forward to the end of the movie. We're walking out. Ian is holding my hand because I need him to hold my hand to guide me out of the movie theater. And then my wife calls and she's like, "How was it?" And I was like, "The movie was amazing. The robot was majestic." And then my wife was like, "Oh, really? Did she sound like a robot?" And I was like, "No, she sounded like an angel. She sounded like an angel." Just, bro, that movie was amazing. I cannot believe how emotionally attached I got to a robot. But
Yeah.
that movie was very well done, and yeah, it was a fantastic movie, a fantastic movie. I have nothing negative to say about the Wild Robot. It was a
Yeah.
great movie.
Nails, I'm with you. My kids, they saw the trailer and they're like, we want to see that. And I was like, hey, because even from the trailer, I was like, man, this looks like it has a little like Studio Ghibli kind of influence, you know? So we went to go see it, the whole family, and there's not even like the end of the movie, dog. And I think Nails, I text you when the robot lands on the island, there's wild animals, she adopts a goose, a little baby goose, and raises him. The scene where she's having teaching him, not even teaching him, helping him fly for like south for the winter, and I was just man, oh my gosh, I was just so
With the wing, with the wing,
the
the wing.
wing, and she's like, I'll hold you, and you like, oh God, it was. It's really well done. I think if Wild Robot was a 2D animated movie, it'd go down as one of the greatest movies ever made. It still might be up there as one but if it was traditionally animated, I feel like it'd be one of the greatest movies of all time.
It was like Bluey. It was
Yeah.
Bluey the movie. Anyways, Shannon, what number was it for you, Shannon?
No, I didn't have it on mine, but only because I have not seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
But I,
it'll do
yeah, I
you in.
will.
Disgusted.
It
What
will
kind
do
of
you
father
in.
are you?
I know. Got him out here watching all these other Transformers 1, Sonic 3, but
How dare you?
It
No, I'm joking.
but
It's
not
good.
Wild
It's good,
Robot.
bro. It's
it's
good.
it's about parenthood. It's
Yeah.
about being
Yeah.
a parent, the challenges of being a parent, but it also has a lot of great lessons about community. The
Mm,
movie's literally like, hey, we like like we don't have to like each other, but if we're gonna survive, like
mm,
we gotta like figure this out. So like it has a lot of great messages in it, and it's a beautiful movie. It's like, well,
mm.
and it's funny, dog. They're like,
Mhm.
I'm talking about like laugh out loud moments, like
Yeah. And
the moment with the mom possum who thought one of her kids got eaten, and she's just like, well,
Mm. Is that just like, well,
yeah.
okay.
And I will say, like, just from seeing the trailers, I think maybe when I saw the first trailer, maybe it was like, I don't know, I was watching something like here at home, and I was like, that looks sort of whack. Like that's how like the first one was. And then, so that's why I was like, I have no interest in seeing it. I hope Luke doesn't say anything because I'll have to take him to see it. But then we went to see, I can't remember what movie, but we went to see some movie in theaters. Maybe it was Transformers 1. We went to see a movie in theaters, and then the trailer they showed in the theater was different. And I was thinking, yo, this looks pretty good. I can see where there's going to be some emotion here. And so I was interested from there. And then he never said anything, so we never went to go see it. But
it's
I think it's going to hit streaming sometime later
yeah,
in January, so I might check it out.
it's worth it, man. It's a family experience. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yo, that
So,
gave me
was it
like,
on your list?
yeah, it was number 7
There it
on my
is. Yep.
list.
Mhm.
Wild Robot destroyed me in so many ways, like that I did not expect. Because I remember just being like, oh, I love to pick like a good animation, and I just watched piece by piece, and I was like, all right, let me just get into the good mindset for this thing, and watched it. And I did not expect the amount of times that I was sitting there in my apartment alone. And I think it made me cry like 4 to 5 times.
Mhm.
Like it was the one movie that made me cry. Like, I don't know why I had such an emotional reaction. I mean, I do, but I don't remember. All I know is I was by myself.
Listening to
Not
Drake. And
just listening, just like I was just like, maybe I just did not expect so much emotional things to happen to me. I have like instant like what's that? The Fox and the Hound. I have a
yeah.
history of
Oh
just
Yeah.
yeah.
like animations hit me. So then I was like, why is this every animation that I ever cried in all into one? Like it was
Mm.
Up, it was Toy Story 3. It was just so like I was like not expecting it. I thought it was gonna be funny and fun. And I don't know, but I know it was the one movie I wanted to sit down. I was like, I don't have any. I would like to watch this with some kids just to see if they are reacting like me, because I'm a grown man crying
Yeah.
watching this, but nobody
It's
wanted to watch
very
it during the
similar
holidays.
to answer your
So
question, Husto. It's very similar to Bluey. They're engaged and they're in, but their perspective is of the
Yeah.
kids, and
They're
our
not.
perspective is of the adults, and we're just like, "Ah!" Like
Yeah. Yeah.
this is amazing, and it gets like that was fun.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah.
episode.
okay.
My kids were like, robot funny, right, Dad? I'm
So
like,
did they? Yeah, I didn't go to the
whoa.
theater. I was wondering, are kids? Because I'm at home,
My
like
son had to
I'm
grab my hand and
just.
comfort me in the movie
I'm like,
theater. 'Cause I was just
I
like,
just know when the movie ended, I just didn't want to watch anything that had any emotional reaction. I just was like, I am drained. My
Yeah.
body was drained in a good
Mm.
yeah,
way,
man.
though.
Yeah.
It was
So,
beautiful.
Same,
Beautiful
so
movie.
same.
it ended up being the number one for me as far as like animation movies this year. Maybe piece by piece because it had that love, that love for Virginia. So being that from Virginia, I kind of
Yeah.
connected with it more. But that's not what it was trying to. Wild Robot was it's just better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm not a mom. I don't know how hard it is to be a mom, but yeah, or a parent, but it's tough. Yeah, I feel bad.
I think besides our number ones, the only other one I remember being on a few of y'all's lists is Book of Clarence. I didn't get a chance to watch Book of Clarence, so I'll turn it to you all to speak on it.
Book of Clarence. So I was looking forward to it back when I saw the first trailer sometime in 2023. Like when I saw the first trailer, and it did not disappoint. I don't remember what the occasion was, how I had the time to myself, but I went to the movies by myself to go see it, and it did not disappoint. Same deal. So again, I have not seen Wild Robot, so I don't know if it was the same emotion I would have, but like what happens towards the end and everything, I was definitely sitting there sobbing. Like I felt the emotions. So it was, I mean, it was a great movie, and it had all the things as well. I mean, there was comedy in it. It did just this deeper piece that really makes us, at least for me, really think about obviously like our religion and our beliefs, but then also just sort of seeing it from this type of view. I feel like I'm being vague because I'm like, do I spoil, do I not? But anyway, it was, it was great. I loved it. And I mean, it inspired, and I know that sounds like a thing, but like legit, we've joked about, me and Mark's shared love of spoken word poetry. And so but truly I am a big fan of that. And so like it inspired me. I started writing more and just like it was great. I loved it. That's how
Nice.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I wanted to include a movie that I knew that probably started in the year because I think this came out in January. And that's what tends to happen. Movies come out in January and they're like, oh, they're great. And then no one ever talks about them ever again. And so I wanted to bring it up. And it's on Netflix. Everyone needs a movie to watch on Netflix sometime. So if you want to check it out, I recommend it. I know this guy, the director, James Samuel, he did the Western that was on Netflix.
Oh,
where
the one
they
with
had
Regina
Idris
King.
Elba. Yeah, and Regina King. Now I can't remember
The
the
Harder They
title.
Fall.
The Harder They
Yes, The
Fall.
Harder They
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Fall.
know that was the same dude. No wonder.
Same guy,
No
same.
wonder.
Come on,
I looked
marketing.
at that too.
That's all I
Yeah.
needed to
So
hear.
this is his second movie, and then I thought, great. Well, if he did great, he'd be great in that. And I know this was like kind of his version of trying to do like a Ten Commandments type movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get too bogged up on religion and stuff like that. But I guess sometimes, some days, I consider myself maybe a little bit of an atheist. And I always pop in my question in Bible school. Always had my hand up, asking all these types of questions. I'll just say, by the end of this movie, I did want to go to church. I was kind of like re-questioning myself, like I should get back into the Bible, maybe, or maybe I need to reconsider, because this is the story I would have preferred being told when I was in Bible school, or maybe it was the one I kept asking questions about what's going on. But it did make me want to be like, well, I guess, yeah.
Nice.
Like it made me hopeful and believe a little.
Dope.
So.
Wow.
And,
Y'all sold that.
there you go. If it can make an atheist, that's how I felt. I went back to church the next day.
Collection plate full.
I don't want to mess up the
Bam.
spoil since y'all didn't see it.
Who still was up? Like
Yeah,
Sister Act 2. Joyful.
Yep. This is what I was talking about. This is what
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
But
I'm
the
gonna check
acting
that
was
out.
good. Everything was good. They have a great dance scene, a musical number or a musical scene in there. I want to point out was everything's shot beautiful, and yeah, there's some cameos in there you might be surprised you didn't know was in the movie. So
Okay, I mean, you sold.
yeah,
I'm
check it
gonna
out.
watch it,
and it's on Netflix.
because I loved Harder They Fall.
Yeah.
I love that. So if that's the same director and Lakeith is in
and
there, come on now. That's all I need.
he uses a few of the same people because obviously Lakeith, but there's at least about two more I believe that are in both.
His friend, what's his name? I think it's RJ. I can't remember his last name.
RJ
RJ something.
Riley. He was the Power Ranger.
Yeah.
He was the Blue Power Ranger.
Yes. Oh my God, he was Billy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And he was in this. Anyway, it's one of those movies. You're like, oh yeah, he was in this. Yeah.
He's always
That's good.
popping up
That's
and
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I started the movie. I didn't finish it, so I need to.
I
I
did
started it and
rewatch it.
then, well, I started it and then all of 2024 happened, so I didn't finish it. But after hearing what you guys said, I'll probably even might watch it tonight if there's enough time.
Yeah.
So we covered my number one and Shannon's number one. Justo, what was your number one? Oh, Substance. Can
The
you go
Substance.
ahead, brother?
Is this the
Get
only?
on your soapbox. Feel free
So
to
I guess
educate us on The Substance. That's the Demi Moore movie, right?
yes. That is the nearly 3 hour long. It's about 2 hours and 24 minutes of body horror. Okay,
So is it
so
like a horror
okay,
movie? Is it like
it is a horror movie. It is a
wow?
horror movie, and it's Demi Moore, and I've loved Demi Moore since I was probably born. I don't know, since I've seen that woman, and I'll be a weirdo. Yeah, Demi Moore in the movie. I was like, yeah, I'm in. I'm in. That's all I need to know. If she, but is she gonna show some stuff? Maybe. And I went in with that awful male mindset. But I remember thinking, I love horror movies.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, I don't give a damn. I'll watch whatever. And I appreciated everything that she did, okay? And that she put herself through because she actually acted the hell out of that movie. I'd never seen her in a horror movie. I know people are trying to put this on like an Oscar list or they're hoping that it could get nominated just because Demi Moore is in it. But she did a body horror movie, like The Thing. And it's almost 2.5 hours long. Dennis Quaid is in it and Margaret Qualley is in it. What's her name? I don't know. But I don't know. It was one of those movies I watched at night and I was like, am I going to fall asleep? And I stayed awake and I watched the whole 3 hours of it. And it takes body horror to another level because of the graphics and maybe the effects they use.
Justo, what would
You don't know which
you
parts are CG and
would you give
practical.
an example of
But
what you would consider a body horror movie, just so we can kind of understand the category
um,
of movie this is in?
an example. Well, the biggest example I would say is The Thing. Not The Thing. I'm sorry. The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
Mm.
That's what I meant. The Fly.
Ah,
That's
gotcha,
body
gotcha,
horror,
gotcha, gotcha.
where maybe some sci-fi stuff is going on, and by the end of this movie, your body is gonna like transform, and it's gonna get
What's that guy's
gross.
name? The
Or
in Rick and Morty, they went to the dimension of that guy. Oh, like people turn into like that guy's like
Oh,
creatures.
Cronenberg, the
Cronenberg.
Cronenberg.
We're talking like
Cronenberg.
Cronenberg. Yeah.
Yeah, he does that stuff. Like,
Bunch of Cronenbergs, Morty.
or the last one I
Cronenbergs.
saw, like Criminals of the Future or something. The last Cronenberg movie that he did with Viggo Mortensen and Chris, and it was about it was about eating metal and the future, how we have nothing to do and we have to eat metal, and it's weird. Yeah, that one's a weird one, but yeah, that's what it was on a bunch of people's list. Like everyone kept just saying it was good, and to see Demi Moore be in this type of role, and it's just about like Demi Moore is an example. It's just about aging in Hollywood. She plays like I guess you could say a type of version of herself who's like a fitness instructor, and then she's going to take a drug. She's retiring. She's not popular, so I don't know. She meets a mad scientist. Like I can't remember. She gets into this company, and they hook her up with something called the substance, and it's very basic stuff. There's a rule. One rule is you got to stick to the rule of you have to switch at once a week. Like you can only be like I don't want to ruin the whole movie, but it's like you have
Can I
to
can I
keep
say
taking
something
this
real quick?
drug so that yeah.
Let me just say this. If you're
I don't know
going
what to say.
somewhere
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and the name of the thing they want to give you is called the substance, that should have told you right then and there you don't want to mess with that. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not calling it the antidote, the medicine. They're calling it the
the,
substance.
the substance,
Yeah.
the
Like
stuff.
come on. The fancy way of saying the stuff. This is the
Yeah.
substance. I ain't touching that. What's wrong
Yeah.
with you?
Is this
Anyway.
FDA approved? I
Can't
feel like
be.
they would do the remember the Aaron Rodgers thing when they were like, oh, are you vaccinated? And like he would never say, yes, I'm vaccinated. Like, sure, I'm immune. I've taken stuff. No, but are you
Taking
vaccinated?
substance.
Yeah. That's what it'd
Huh?
be like.
What?
Is this FDA approved? I
That
mean,
was my
sure, people have
question.
approved it.
No,
What?
Yeah.
it would
I,
come in the
I
mail. It's gross. It's green
I've heard a
too.
lot about this movie, Who's Still. I haven't got a chance to see it, but from what I've heard, I'm like, I feel like it's right up my alley. I just haven't got a chance to like sit down and watch it, but I'm gonna make time for it. And the things I've heard, like you said, it's about like Asian Hollywood and what we do to like be beautiful and stay beautiful. So I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, you call it like the Ozempic movie, you know,
Wow.
like that type of drug. Because it's just about Asian beauty and making yourself look good. And she makes a carbon copy of a younger version of herself, and then she tries to take over her life. And then, it's like horror where you don't follow the one rule, things are going to get messed up.
Yeah.
So let's just say that. I mean, if y'all going to watch it, I don't want to ruin it. But
No, I'm gonna watch it.
stuck
I'm gonna
me.
Yeah,
watch
no,
it.
I'm definitely gonna
There's
watch it.
I'm definitely
intense,
gonna watch it.
there's intense close-ups, but when the body horror happens, it's kind of gross and it builds. And then when you get to the end, there is a monster that has been introduced to the cinema that you'll never forget.
Nice.
There
Nice.
is a monster.
Brother, we just
It
told you we
builds.
gonna watch it. Stop it.
All right, all right, that's
We
all.
gonna watch it. Oh man. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's your number one. And then Mark, your number one was
Dune 2.
Dune 2, which was
Um,
my number 6.
yeah.
Yes.
Dune 2 was my number one because I feel like Dune 2 is why movies exist, why we go to the movies, and why people should still back movies in the theater. So, fellas, when I know about Dune. I remember the first Dune. I never watched it. I didn't care for it. It just looked like
When
it
you
looked
say the
like
first Dune, do you mean
the
like Sci-Fi
70s.
Channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like to me it looked like Flash Gordon with a better budget, you know? And so I had no I'm fellas, I'm talking about zero interest in Dune when it came out. I was like, I don't care. I on a whim just like, oh, I'll check out the first Dune. And I was like, yo, this movie is amazing. And and my wife and I watched Dune 2, and I was just like, this is why I go to the movies. This is why I pay almost $30 now to have a to have popcorn that probably costs 50 cents to make, a cold soda, and sit in a movie theater with a bunch of strangers. Like it looks amazing. The Dune's the what I'll say about Dune is the same thing I said about Black Panther. When even when stuff's not happening, it is an interesting movie. The costumes are dope. The sets are dope. The actors are killing it. It's just like this world. It's a desert world. There's nothing in the desert, but it's so interesting and just it sounds good. It looks good. And I was blown away, man. There's a fight scene at the end of Dune 2 that I was like, this is art. This is like the way it's lit, the way it's choreographed. I was like, this is amazing. And it's the reason why movies exist, and it is my number one of the year.
It's Mark. I think I can summarize what you said because I feel the same way. You don't have to understand what's going on to love the movie. You don't have to understand what's going on. It's like, okay, now they're here. Things are blowing up. Okay, and now they're here. Knife fight. Sure,
Yeah,
I'm with it.
but
I'm
it
with
but
it.
it but it's easy. No, you're absolutely right, Nels. But it's easy to follow, and it's
Yes,
understandable. But it literally, you could just
but
sat
you
me
don't have
there.
to understand
Yeah,
it.
you could just
That's what
sat
I'm
me there
saying.
and
It's
played.
so beautiful.
You could have chopped up Dune and placed it incoherently together, and I'm like, wow. You could have put the end at the beginning, and I was like, this is amazing. It was dope. It was really really dope.
And same story. I did not watch Dune back when it was on the Sci-Fi Channel for half the day. I was like, nah, I ain't with it. And I was just chilling watching the first Dune and loved it. Loved it's like the
Hmm.
exact same story. So Dune 2 was phenomenal. It was great. There are so many parts of that movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. But I think part of the reason it was so great, besides the beauty of it all, was like, yo, they were acting. That
Yes,
everybody came in and was acting. The mom was acting. You
yes.
know what I'm saying? Like
Jason
both of
Momoa.
Yeah.
Jason, like
Thanos.
like for
And they're
both
not even
movies,
the They're not even the stars. They're just in the movie.
Dave Bautista was acting. Like everyone brought their A game. You know what I'm saying? Zendaya was acting so I think that was part of it was like you get this cool, funky sci-fi movie and you get like just beautiful scenes, but you get folks. I'm a Timothy
You know what?
Chalamet. I'm a fan of his now because of Dune.
Oh,
That
dog,
man was acting.
we watched Wonka today as a family. I'm like, this kid's got it. I was like,
Yeah.
that was good. It was
Singing, he was singing and dancing. I was like, what? Yeah.
But you know what else, Dels? It's like in the 90s, and I'm gonna say mostly in the 90s, we got a lot of movies like Dune. We got a lot of like smart sci-fi movies, and it's rare to see a movie like Dune now. And what I mean by that is like it's like, no, we gotta get the kids excited and keep the action pumping, and we gotta have witty little one-liners, and like there's a lot of slow burn moments in Dune, in both Dunes, but it's still interesting. It reminds me of a Nolan movie. There's a lot of slow burning in Nolan movies, but you're still engaged. You're like, what are they talking about? Oh man, he just picked up that cup. Oh my God, was he gonna? You know what I'm saying? And it's like we don't get that a lot. It's like now movies have to be Deadpool and Wolverine. It's like back to back to back to back to back, cameo action, 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 which is cool sometimes, but it's like it's nice to see the other side of that.
Yeah. I would say I enjoyed it. I like it wasn't on my list, but I did see it the past year. And what you're saying, I think you finally put words to what I was feeling, and I'm like, so that's what it was because I did enjoy it, and it really felt different sitting in there than like other movies. And as you were saying, like the acting, the sound, because I was in a movie theater. I wasn't doing anything special. It wasn't like IMAX or something like 4D or whatever. And just watching it, the way it would light up the screen and sounds like I know they weren't doing anything special in the theater, but just say when sandworms are coming or something like that,
Dude,
it's almost like you could feel a little rumble in the theater and all of this, and it was just regular. So I'm like, they thought about all the other little things, and they were like, we're gonna use it like everything at our disposal. We're gonna make you feel it in the theater. It's gonna have some vibration, whatever it is. But I was like, that's what stood out to me because I was like, something's different about this, and not just the movie itself, but something about this experience is a little bit different. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's because they were like, we're going to utilize everything.
I remember seeing in the beginning of the year. It was really pretty.
it is.
I knew I was going to see it in the theater because I know the first part I didn't get a chance to, and it was on Max, and I think it came out during the COVID stuff, so they was just dropping it on Max. And I just remember being excited when he rode the sandworms because I remember seeing that one and being like, I gotta see the second one in theater because I felt Jip watching it on the TV screen, and then it just goes well together. I did after watching the second one, I had to go back and watch the first one, and then when they finally dropped on Max, it was like try to watch it like as one big old movie. And that was a lot of time. But I still did it,
brother. That's a day.
I was just like, let's just see if this was like one movie that flows and it is great. It is just good. That's exactly what you said. It like I remember being in the theater, being like, "Yes, this is how we're gonna start the year, yay!"
And then at the end,
they need to make more movies like this.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all know anything about the Dune series. I don't know anything about it. I hope this is like the next Mission Impossible. I hope like every 5 years a new Dune comes out.
I don't think they can afford that. It's a lot of sand, and those actors are all really good. So I don't know if they can afford that. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Dune stuff. There's already an HBO Dune show. Is it not good, Huso? Have you seen it?
No, I don't know. I watched the first episode and I fell asleep.
Okay.
From what I hear, I haven't seen it. I hear the production value is amazing. Like it's one of the best looking shows on television. So
it's good enough for me to have on the background. So there's gonna be a lot of Dune stuff. I'm sure there's gonna be like an animated show or stuff. There's gonna be stuff. I'm interested in actually reading the book. That like I just might. That's how good the Doom movies were for me. So
I ended up going into like a Wikipedia rabbit hole learning about the books and just cheating myself. I'm not gonna ruin the books, but I think there's like 6 or 7, and I think like the series, like I think his dad dies,
You
or the
flash back to like
author,
2019 or
no,
2009 and
no, like
Wikipedia rabbit hole.
no, I think like the author died, and then his son continued more books too. So there's a whole
wow,
series, yeah,
Okay.
wow.
series. But I'm not
Yeah.
gonna ruin anything.
So
I heard
like
it gets
with
wild.
I'm not
it
gonna say
gets
whether it gets
wild.
better. I'll just say it gets wild.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, hold on. Real one quick question, real, and then we can move on. Where are we in the story of the actual like books? Like, is it like the first two books, or is it still like the first book? Like where?
We're still in the like the Dune itself, or the movie. I guess it's like the books that his dad wrote,
Mhm.
the main author. Whatever is after.
Or maybe
There's
not
like
in the
three
books,
books
but
that
like
come
as far
after.
as the story goes, are we still like in the beginning? Or are we like in
We're still like in the
Wikipedia? Are we in the
beginning.
first paragraph, or are we like how are we in Wikipedia?
Or in the prequel still.
Well, okay. So then the other stuff comes after. It's like it starts picking up like years later, and there's a bunch of time jumps,
Oh
Okay.
wow. Oh
and
wow. Okay.
and yeah. So like characters that were important in some book weren't important anymore, or they get sidetracked, or new characters come up that are gonna come take over. Let's just say the movie does the good parts of Dune right now. I'm not looking forward to what happens next.
Mm,
Wow.
mm.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
They can stop right now. Basically, they should just stop. They should just stop. I don't know if the next books are possibly are even makeable. Maybe.
Mm.
I'm not trying to ruin the
You
story for
answer.
you
No,
guys.
I already know what you. Now I know. Now I
But
know. I can
I
put
ruined
two
it
and
for
two
myself, and
together.
I'm just like, you know what? We're good. Like, this is what
Gotcha.
happens when you go on Wikipedia and start cheating and reading all the books online.
Shannon, did you also jump into Wikipedia so you know the story? Or
Nah, so the way I end up knowing a little bit more beyond the movie is I actually went to go see it with some friends, and I know one of the guys, I think he said he's read all the books like way back then, and so he was telling me, he was like, yeah, obviously he loved the movie, but yeah, was saying it gets wild, and he told me some of the stuff that's gonna happen later, based on the books. And again, yeah, like who's still, I'm like, not to spoil it, but again, we just keep saying wild because it is. There are some things that you're like, I do not see this. I don't see a hybrid of something and something happening.
Mm.
Again, I'm being vague,
Okay.
but but
All
it's
Yeah,
some
right.
hybrid
okay.
stuff happening.
like it's one of those. I feel like the author. I guess he passed away before he could even officially finish the whole storyline, and then that's
Hmm.
why his son continued the other, like some other books, and trying to tell the story. So I don't know if there's even official ending to the whole Dune universe, maybe,
Oh man.
but I know it gets weird.
Yeah.
It gets weird. Don't get it.
Oh.
Don't get too attached.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop trying to tell us.
Okay.
Stop telling us.
Let's move
Too
on
funny.
before Gustavo spoils all of
Stop
this.
it.
No cameraman are safe. Like no.
All right, y'all. Was there any other things on your list that you wanted to speak more about before we wrap it up?
If no one has anything, I definitely just want to give a couple shout outs to some things on my list. My Adventures with Superman. I don't know if people are supporting this show. Yo, check it out. It is a new Superman animated series, and it's modern, and I mean that in the best way possible. It's like, how do we bring these Superman villains characters into like a fresh new world? Basically, it's Superman for Gen Z, but I really enjoy it. Nails, we joked about the internet. They have a new version of Amanda Waller, and the internet was in a fluster about this new version of Amanda
Yeah,
Waller.
they
Dog,
needed a
brothers were
breather.
like, "Hey, this new Amanda Waller. Like people
They-
were just questioning themselves, and
I think folks were discovering something about themselves that they didn't know. And they're like, "Oh, I'm one of these kind of guys."
I'm one of
Okay,
these
okay.
type of people. Well, all right, here we go. Buckle up.
Yeah.
But no, I love it. It's animated. I wouldn't be surprised if it's animated by the same studio that did Avatar. There's a lot of anime influence. It's really well done.
Same
It's
one as
on.
Voltron, though, right?
Yeah.
Same folks as Voltron. Yeah.
Very well done. And then what's his name? I didn't know what's his name from The Boys is Superman.
Who's the
The
main character?
Yeah, he's Superman.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's what's
Uh,
up.
I'm gonna rush through these. Shogun. If you like Game of Thrones, watch Shogun. Like Shogun is fantastic. The sets, the costumes, the characters. It's the most realistic depiction I think of Game of Thrones that ever we could get. Because it's based off of actual people in events. You disagree, Nels?
No, you got me. I have to watch it now. I have to watch it. So you
it's
sold
a
it.
great show. Dan, the anime. Nels, as a fellow anime, watcher, I think you'll love this show. The best way I can describe it, it's Jujutsu Kaisen meets Fooly Cooly, and it's fantastic. Here's the premise for Dan. In
How
anime
did those
fashion,
come
it is the
together?
weirdest thing you've ever heard of. So it's two high schoolers, one boy, one girl. One believes in ghosts, one believes in aliens. They don't believe in both. They challenge each other to go prove the other exists. Hijinks ensue. The boy loses his genitalia, and the anime is them trying to get it back. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
And that's why sometimes I just don't delve into the anime because I don't know what I'm
But
getting myself into.
it is fantastic. It is fantastic. It's a great show. I love it.
Oh my God.
What is it called? Dan to Dan? Dan
Again,
lost his
that's
Dan?
why. That's
Dan
why.
loves it.
That's why. What?
That's why you say the Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
That's what-
Dragon
Like, that's
Ball.
why I stay
Dragon
right
Ball
here.
Z.
certain lanes.
Right
I'm
here
still
in the-
stuck
5.5
on Attack on
feet.
Titans. So.
5.5 feet. I ain't going past it.
No,
Oh my
Up into another.
it's really good, fellas. I kid you. I think like it's right now the first season is on Netflix. It's 12 episodes. It's a breeze of a show. The theme song nails. The theme song's done by Creepy Nuts, the same guys that make that Mashal.
Done.
Yeah.
Done. Done. I got you. I'm watching it. I will watch that sucker later on. As soon as we get off, I'm gonna watch
There
it.
you go. So people
Because I know one thing, that opening is fire. That opening must be stellar.
it's
Okay.
dope. It's pretty dope. So, but that's it. It's
Of
a
course
great
it
show.
is. Of course it is, Mark.
Gusto Shannon, I think you guys might find it interesting, but it was my surprise hit of the year. That's why it's on my list.
Y'all, fellas, don't even watch it. Go on YouTube. What's it called? Dan to Dan? Put in Dan to Dan, put in theme song or opening, and go watch that. Because I know it's fire. I know it's fire. I watched an entire anime because of that. The same group that made the song, they made a theme opening for what's his name,
Mashal.
Mashal. I watched. There's 2 seasons of it. I watched both seasons just because season 2 opening was so hard. It's yeah. So I highly recommend it.
Gusto, I think you would like Mashal. I think you
would too. Yeah, I
it's
know you
based-
like the theme song.
Well, I'll check them out.
It's basically like what if Nels? What if the Hulk went to Hogwarts?
It's One Punch Man and Harry
There
Potter.
you go. What if One Punch Man went to Hogwarts?
Yeah,
And everyone thought he was a wizard because he's crazy strong. That's Mashal.
that's it.
Mash. Okay.
With the greatest anime theme song ever. Oh, anyways,
Well-
thanks, Mark.
I had some I was gonna ask, hey, you ever watch Die Hard and ever wonder what happens if his wife just died in the first 15 minutes?
What would that
John
be?
McClane kills
What if-
everyone in that
Yes.
tower.
And that's just how it goes. So I watched this Indian movie called Kill. It's just called Kill. And I learned something that probably happens, it took me. And it's like my year's Raid, I guess. This is the real action movie for me. Because I like hand-to-hand combat. and I need knives in throats and stuff apparently, and in tight quarters. So this is all on a train. This is about so this guy, his woman's about to be arranged marriage, and he's like a cop, like a cop, like part of like the raid, like part of a squad. He gets a phone call, yo, your girl's about to get engaged or whatever, arranged marriage. His girlfriend, the lady calls him. He goes with his partner. They get on this train. He basically tries to intercept this wedding, but then while they're on the train, a like gang of terrorists come in and try to rob everybody on the train. And then he's on. It's that one of them one army movies. Like, and he just he kills everyone for the next.
This is. I'm,
like,
I'm not gonna ask this question in the appropriate way.
Oh my god!
Is this an Asian movie?
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to read. I mean, it's India. It's my year's
Yes.
Monkey Man.
I know it's
Monkey
good.
Man.
I know
let
it's
me
good.
down.
Do you realize what you just said? You were like, so it's Indian
Asian,
Die Hard,
yes.
and his wife dies, and he kills everybody. It was my favorite movie that.
Because, like, yes. Sorry, but that's what made it tight. Like, I wish they went into Die Hard and did that, because that would then make the sequels
Sensational.
just better. Because then he doesn't have to worry about a wife. Who needs that character? Because, like, when she died, my mouth dropped, and it was the first 15 minutes in this movie, and I was like, where do we go from here?
Can't wait.
I don't understand this.
Is it on Netflix?
No, I had to go online to find this.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's streamed
put the
somewhere.
journey in.
I hope Netflix put it in. After they had Triple R, I was like, I need more of this Indian kicking ass stuff. And it was great. Because Monkey Man let me down. So then I was looking, I needed something. So I'm telling you, it's just a dumb title. I hate that it's just called Kill. It's like Kill. No one's gonna remember it, but I recommend it. It surprised me.
So how does it hold up to RRR?
Well, I feel like maybe they had more production. I mean, they got lions. There's no lions.
There's no
But
lions.
if you like
there's
people
no,
getting
so
stabbed,
there's no guys kicking tigers and throwing them.
no,
and killing
you gotta beat that. That's
Dog,
tight,
nothing
but-
beats RRR.
Yeah, nothing but I
beats
needed
RRR.
something.
What a
Like,
bar!
I need more of this. I need more of
That's
this.
the Dark Knight of Indian of Bollywood movies. yo.
RRR
Like-
is what Fast and Furious movies wish they were.
Yeah,
Will never
so-
be.
So this was really good. And what else I wanted to mention here? Because I got weird time. I said My Old Ass.
I wanted to
Yeah.
watch. That's what
That's
Homegirl
actually on
from-
Prime.
That's
Mhm.
what Homegirl from Parks and Rec, right? Where she
Yes.
meets her younger self.
Yes. So this girl takes some shrooms, and then the younger version of herself, and then somehow while she's high taking shrooms that for her first time, she's able to communicate with her future self, her 30 or 40-year-old version of herself, which is played by Aubrey Plaza. And yeah, I recommend it. To the core, especially at the age, it's a message. Like, I'm sure we all had that thought if we could go back or tell our past selves something we know now. So it deals with that type of subject.
Justo,
And
my
it
brother
gets
and I
to,
had this conversation the other
I've always-
day. If what I am now, I'd be a Batman villain, but in high school. like who I am now, what I value and care about. Oh my god! Like, I would be running. It'd be devastating.
If you talk to your former self,
No, I'm saying if
let 'em know ahead of time?
what I know now and who I am somehow got transferred back to high school, I'd be a Batman villain because it is just like not the same wavelengths. You know what I'm saying?
And it has a good lesson in that one.
I
So,
agree with that.
and anything else I want to mention now? That's about all. In a Violent Nature. I'm surprised we didn't talk about too much horror movies. But if you haven't checked this one out, and if you ever watched a Friday the 13th and wondered, hey, how's Jason feel? I wonder how this is, but from Jason's point of view.
Sold.
Sold.
The whole movie. Okay, so I know back in the day, you
I was
had
like, tell me
you had
more.
that basic POV shot which they do have in like Friday the 13th or Friday, where, oh, is he, or on Halloween, right?
Yeah.
The Carpenter, where they're following that, whatever. Sure, that happens in that shot, or when Michael Myers is dun, 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 and he might be following the babysitter, and it kind of gives you that sense that you're in Michael Myers' point of view. This does that, but 10 times better from the beginning of the movie all the way to the end. So you feel like you're the
What's
killer,
the movie called again?
and you're just watching.
No.
Just
What's
it's
this?
called
What's this called?
In a Violent Nature, and you're just watching people getting shredded.
Where can you watch it?
It's on Shudder.
Okay.
I think it's on Shudder. If you're looking for like
Is Shudder
streaming,
worth it? Justo? Is it worth it?
I don't have it, but apparently, if you're a horror fan, it is.
Oh, okay. So
what
wait
I
a minute.
put, guys,
You go to the Shannon Smith school of watching movies. Y'all have
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
website.
we have the same websites.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
how I was able to clock in, like,
Yeah,
you know, and,
exactly.
and we got. I'm gonna let you know these websites got taken down this year. I got scarce. I visited some. There were some FBI notices. I had to go through some forums to learn about the new ones. So yeah, I found a way to get online through my old Xbox, and since it's connected,
Oh my god!
I never knew. And now I'll pop in a movie online. My mom's like, "How are you watching a Noir right now?" I'm just like, "Don't worry, I'm watching it
Yo.
downstairs. Don't worry about it." I can't watch that with you.
Does your house look like Rick Romanus' house in Honey I Shrunk the Kids? Just like all these things, just so you can watch a movie. It's just
It's like,
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. But
wheels turning, eggs boiling.
yeah, they're like, why? I'm like, everyone don't move so that the Wi-Fi is correct. Because if y'all mess this internet up, I can't watch this movie.
That's hilarious, dude.
But yeah.
Yo, since you, my last thing, Husto, since you
Sorry.
mentioned horror, I forgot to mention Smile 2.
Oh
Dog.
yes.
yeah.
Did you watch it, Husto?
Yes. How
Dude.
did you not see Smile 1 and went into Smile 2?
I just never got to Smile 1, but like I was like, I'm going into Smile 2. Best decision I made this year. Like,
No, it's up there.
it is fantastic, and I'll say this. This is the only thing I'm gonna say about Smile 2. Maybe one of the best monsters I've ever seen in a long time. And Smile 2 might have, I'm not saying it's the best, might be one of like my top 3 favorite horror movie endings ever.
Yeah, the ending.
The way Smile 2 ends is just, it is.
That is a tall claim.
Yeah.
Mark Jones, for real.
I'm just, dog,
Smile 2.
The way Smile 2 ends, I cannot wait for Smile 3. Like, I don't need to see no trailer. Just tell me when to be at Smile 3, and I'll be there.
Let's spend 2 seconds on this.
I bet you I know a word that's about to come up. Go ahead.
Okay, so
ahead.
if the thing is number one, because I'm assuming your number one ending is the thing. 2, F it. Pick. I mean, pick one of the Halloweens. I don't know. Like, you're saying Smile 2 is right after that?
Dog, I'm saying for me personally, it is one of my favorite ways I've seen a horror movie. Based on the concept of this movie and what it's about, it is like one of the greatest horror movie endings I've ever seen.
Yeah, this list of things I have to watch is getting longer.
It's definitely one of those, like, yeah, I can't wait for Smile 3.
Yeah.
It's all big, all set up for maybe Smile 3. And then, like, because even at Smile 1, I'm like, man, are they going to do another one of these? Like, it is good on its own. I was like, I didn't think it was going to ever, like, have a sequel, but it made money. So then here it goes. Let's make a sequel. And then they did the right things. They took whatever money they made and they put it where it needed to be. And they built, like, Smile 2 is nothing like Smile 1. Because Smile 1 is more of a smaller story, more compact in one thing. And it does the thing that sequels should do, which is go big.
Yeah.
If you're going to go big, go big. And it somehow went even bigger at the end.
Yeah.
And so it did a good job.
No,
I like Smile 2 over Smile 1. Not many people could say that.
Do you remember when you said the sequel to It Follows is They Follow? And I was like, I don't need nothing else. That's how I feel about Smile 3. Just tell me when to be there, and I'll be there. Like,
okay.
Because I was gonna say that's what I was just thinking when you were like, a movie that has me thinking a sequel's coming, I will be there. I was like, It Follows is right there, and like, where does that rank in that? But okay, so right along, because anyway, that's how I feel about that one. Yeah, with It Follows, just like you were saying, They Follows. Tell me when to be there.
Yeah, that's it. Just
Yeah.
Or They Follow. Yeah.
I'll be
Shannon,
waiting in
anything else
line
on your
listening to
list you
Drake.
wanted to talk about?
Yeah. I was just gonna mention these two. These are actually honorable mentions from Marks, just because it sparked something. So Invincible Fight Girl, I have not seen that yet, but someone was just telling me about it. Juan, if y'all remember, know Juan, Niels does. But anyway, Juan was just telling me about this earlier. Invincible Fight Girl. He was like, check it out. I hadn't heard of it, and then I see it's on Mark's list too, so I
Pretty
need to
great.
go ahead
It's a lot of fun.
yeah, I need to go ahead and expeditiously get to that to see it. But then also what's cool about it, again, I haven't seen it, but two people that play voices are Tony Baker and Angel Moore. And y'all familiar
Like
with
from Kev
Angel?
on Stage's crew?
Yes, yeah, those two. Like they play like recurring characters in there. Again, I haven't
Hey,
seen it,
money
but
coming in. That's what's up. That's what's
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Happy to hear it.
yeah. So that has me excited because those
Tony
are
Baker
like,
does the voiceovers on
yeah, those animal voiceovers.
social media.
No, I wonder who he is on Invincible Fight Girl. I gotta go
Oh.
back and
Yeah, I don't know, but
because
I
his
just
voice is very like distinct. Like I feel like
mhm.
I gotta go back.
It's about time they put him on in an animated
He
show.
should
That
have
man
been
has
in
been
animation,
Yeah,
dog. From
yeah,
like
for
yeah.
a minute.
he belongs there. He definitely belongs there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but no, that
Absolutely.
that that like had me hyped because those are just like some of my favorite people. I love everything from like their podcast to just random stand up and stuff like that. But once I was like, oh, they're included, I got to see that. Then the other thing was Alien Romulus. That was on your honorable mention, and so this year or in 2024, I watched all of the Alien movies because legit I
Okay.
hadn't.
All right.
Yeah, like even with a lot of I
Talk
had
about
seen
aliens.
All right.
You want to talk about
Look,
aliens?
yo,
I already
look
know
how
I already know
excited
the
we all
questions.
got.
Someone
All
you just
got
watch
Kool-Aid
all aliens?
smiles.
Roll the
Yeah,
It's
sleeves up.
like, yes.
because legit I feel like for all of them I had seen bits and pieces, but I was those things where you got to think, have I actually sat and watched this from beginning to end? And so obviously I had seen alien stuff and especially like Alien
So
versus Predator, which
we're
I
gonna
didn't watch
ask you.
those.
We're gonna ask you, Shannon.
Oh, I know what's about to
All
come. I
right.
already got my answer. Anyway, I watched all of them, and then I watched Alien Romulus, and I was like, I really, really like the Alien franchise.
Here
So
we go.
We
Who wants to
the
do it?
answer,
Who wants to ask Shannon the
Oh,
question we're all thinking?
he knows. Go ahead,
Okay.
Shannon. Go ahead.
let me see. The question: which is better, Alien 1 or 2? That's the question,
What?
right?
Where do you rank it
Yeah. Would I rank it?
in the Alien franchise?
So, oh wait, would I rank Romulus or would I rank?
Why don't you, Shannon Smith, you run through the Alien franchise and you rank them?
All right, so let me just go and cut to the chase because the real question is what's 1 and 2? What's my number one? What's my number two? So
Mhm.
Aliens is my number one. Alien singular is my number two.
There we go.
My man.
That's it.
There we go.
And then
Aliens.
the rest don't really matter. But
It's one of the
you.
greatest movies ever.
Yo,
Yeah.
Shannon, thank you. Yes.
but yeah. So, but anyway, just want to say that because Alien Romulus, I enjoyed that, and it just made me think of that. Where this year or 2024, I was like, over the course of some weeks, every night I was watching some of the aliens, and I was like, I really like this. But
It's
anyway,
beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. And it's like it does what sci-fi is supposed to do. It's like, well, let's take something in society and make this an allegory for it. And it fits really well in the Alien franchise. I love how they didn't like date the technology. The
mhm,
technology in the movie still feels like it's from the 80s, even though it's like the future. So I
mhm,
really dig that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. What's up? By the way, Huso, what
What's
is your
up?
favorite Aliens movie?
What's
Aliens.
Excuse me, Alien movie. That was Freudian slip.
Yeah.
I love them all. Well, I'm the opposite. I think Alien 1 is my number one, and number 2
Get out of here.
is
Get out of here.
Aliens.
Well, it was a great episode,
What?
y'all.
That get out of here.
I'm calling the Kendrick Lamar police right now to come get you.
The truth
Get
is, I
outta
love them
here.
all. I love them all. I even like the David Fincher one. I like them all. I like them all. And Romulus did a great job of like basically including everything, a little bit of everything from all the franchises, I guess, and putting it in one, I guess. I don't know if it had too much action, but it felt actiony with them jumping up. It was the most I've seen those face
The
thingies,
face huggers, yeah.
face huggers. They got a lot.
They did a lot
had
of cool stuff with
They did a
them.
lot of cool
Yeah.
stuff in that one,
Yeah,
and
face
it took
suckers
it
don't
back
really
to being
get.
scary.
They get like 5 minutes
Right, so
in
there,
the
and
show, and then that's kind of it. Then other stuff starts happening. So it's
yeah.
interesting. Okay.
But I
Yo,
remember watching. Like, there's a lot
can
of
I
face
can I
huggers.
can I just say in Alien Romulus, like from a design point, the AI, I forgot who the brother's name was who played like the android, but like any future companies who make like androids that look like people, when they update, do not make them go like, oh.
Yeah,
That is no. That's the first and last time I ever have an android in my house, dog. It's like updating software. Like,
I just assume you're gonna try to kill me next. Like I don't care what the update was. Like this is
yeah,
a test
it's like
so they
oh,
can
I'm gonna make it so you can play Words with Friends. It's like, oh.
no, they're gonna try to kill me.
Oh, and after I'm not trusting any robots in that world. I just can't anymore. After Prometheus and Alien Romulus, I don't know. I can't trust none of the robots. None of the robots. I'm like,
No new friends.
no new friends. No
no
robot.
new robots. No
The
new
old
friends.
robot interfered in the new robot. Like that's what happened. Like he was like, "Oh, let me just download it into your program." I'm like, these robots are What if David came? What if David was an Alien Romulus and was like, "Let me get in on this too"?
I will say nice, subtle tie-in to Prometheus with Romulus too. Very nice. With the creature
Probably
at
watch
the
this.
end and just like, yeah, very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was good. We could talk about that stuff all day. But yeah.
Y'all, I think we're at time, but I will say this real quickly. Supercell was great, and can't wait for season 2. I don't know when it's dropping, but if you haven't watched it, it's a great superhero movie. It's Black Londoners and superheroes. You can't miss. You can't miss.
Attack the
I
block
would say,
with superpowers.
Yeah.
Studios, producers, don't you dare Lovecraft Country us. That is what I was saying. Like
Better
because
not.
and I say because Lovecraft Country should have had at minimum a season 2, and just like Supercell, like Supercell was amazing. Don't you dare.
That's that's my problem with Netflix though, because then I just get scared to get into something, and then they're gonna like,
oh yeah,
take it away like after a year.
Netflix will drop something in a heartbeat. They don't care. It's like
yeah.
They're vicious with it.
Supercell's getting to season 2, or there will be problems. There will be problems. There's too many people who are waiting for season 2 for that to not get season 2.
But before everyone goes, go pick up this great book, From Visions to Reality, written by Nails. Yeah! Get it at what, Nails? Amazon and
everywhere. Anywhere you get a book, ask for that book, it'll be there.
Congratulations, dog. You wrote dog, this it's like, do you remember in 2012 the movie where he's like, what's his name, has Kevin Spacey's book, and he's like he's not here, but it's like he's here because I have his book. Like, this is you're always
I have no idea what reference you're talking about.
No, you're always going to exist. You're always going to be like in the ether, in pop culture. You did this. Congratulations, dog.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And thanks for all your support. Much appreciated, y'all. And with that, happy 2025 Pop Cult. And thank you for listening. We have a new episode every month. You can find us on all social media at Pop Cult Crew, PopCultCrew. Become a member of the Pop Cult at our Patreon, where you can see all of our full episodes. And don't forget to rate us, review, and subscribe. And as always, join the cult. Peace.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye.